sniping, and it's done.
Okay. Alrighty, so I say let's start it up. This is episode 2 of our Halo 5 podcast, the unnamed podcast so far. Unsponsored, unnamed podcast. But let's get right into it. So we're live streaming on Twitch. You're probably watching this on YouTube if anybody's watching this out there. Eventually, I just created a SoundCloud account. We're going to be posting this on iTunes. We're going to have an RSS feed so you can download it any way you want. Right now, we're going to do a video podcast. Right now, we're using Skype, so you could watch us at least on YouTube while we talk, because we figured that would be the best why we figure everything out right now. So I guess we'll get it started. I don't know if you guys know this, but I saw on Reddit today that it's the 11th year anniversary since Halo 2 was released, and I figured we could start with that because 11 years today, I guess exactly. And I didn't know that that was the date, 11 years. So what, I guess we're 25 now. So we were 13 or 14 when the game came out. And I remember specifically playing in my downstairs in the house I grew up with Tom. And it definitely brings back a lot of memories, of course.
I say, because this whole, like, 11 years ago is like, ingrained in my mind. I remember my dad waking me up at midnight. Well, a little before midnight, and we went to the midnight release, and then we came home, and he wouldn't let me play it, and I hated him for it. He made me go right to bed as soon as we got back from the midnight release.
That's hilarious.
So I told him to wake me up like an hour early before school so I could get some games in. And I remember it was like the first time, so I woke up at like 6 a.m., and then like the first game was Headlong. I'll never forget that. And
really?
I dual wield SMGs, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever because you couldn't dual wield in Halo 1, and like I'll never forget like dual wielding for the first time, and at the time it was like the coolest thing ever to me. And then I played like that one game, and then I went to school, and then me and you played freshman football, if you obviously remember that.
Yeah, of course.
And then I remember I quit the team because I just wanted to play Halo all fucking day. So
understandable.
So
yeah, I mean I quit playing football my sophomore year because we were playing so much Halo. And what's crazier is you moved into my house around that time, and me and you would just edit montages. Remember that? Yeah. We would edit people's montages like crazy clips.
What was that kid? Mofo.
Like 2000 or 5000 or something.
Yeah, I remember you spent like months on that dude's montage.
Yeah, it was really good. With 3-6 Mafia music.
Yeah,
that's crazy. It was a long time ago. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool date. I guess, I mean, we could talk about Halo 2 forever, but I guess we should move on and talk about Halo 5 for now.
Live in the present.
Talk about the present, live in the present. So it looks like everything's cool with the stream. Hopefully. I mean, I didn't want to use Skype because it looks like some of our info already came up, but like it just has your name, so I think that should be fine. Whatever. We're not that big time, so. So I guess the first thing we should talk about is just the weekend ended. This is week 2. When this is posted, this is week 2 of Halo 5, and the Shoddy Sniper playlist just ended. So what do you guys think about that?
That's silly good fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, at first it reminded me of how crappy I was with the sniper rifle, and then spamming games with that and getting used to the mechanics with that and the shotgun. Toward the end of it, especially yesterday or on Sunday when we were playing. That's yesterday, right? Yeah. It was just a lot of fun going through those games, especially once you got to handle it. And it's kind of the same with all the weapons and just the feel of everything in the game. But now that I'm kind of rolling into it, that mode was a blast on the tail end of it.
Yeah, what about you, Tim?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I definitely used it just because, I mean, you don't get your hands on power weapons doing like normal games a lot. Just because like the timing and stuff. So I definitely use it just as practice with the sniper, just because I seem not to get it a lot in normal games. Definitely just to get used to it.
Yeah, I thought there was a good mix of like using the sniper and the shotgun in most of the maps. The shotgun's really strong, so if you crouch around, a lot of people were doing that strategy. I was a lot to get kills, like just kind of crouching everywhere and then just like coming up and shooting people. Like whatever, it was worth it.
The variety that the maps help too, especially like you go on like some place like Coliseum where it's going to favor sniping because of the alleyways, but then you go on like Plaza or something, it's just a shit show of people just running around with a shotgun, sprinting at people trying to snipe you, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I played a game on the Midship remake. Was it Regret or Truth? Truth. Yeah.
Regret's like the modified one of it.
That's right. Yeah, so Truth, and that was slightly ridiculous with shotgun snipers.
That spawn is hilarious too. I'm sure everyone else out there has also had that where you spawn, just immediately shoot forward and hope you get a double or a headshot.
Oh yeah, oh like the very first spawn when you're cross bases. You mean?
Yeah, and you can see the other entire team. They can see you, and it's just pretty much
Yeah,
whoever's
yeah.
quick.
Yeah, Chris, it was so funny.
And
Chris was like, "Get ready to snipe across the map," and I was on my phone, and I looked up, and everyone on our team was dead. And then the next time we were ready, and we killed the entire team. So it was like, it was funny. It was crazy.
I love that because you said like what, and then I looked down and I already saw that like the kill thing on the bottom, the kill feed had your name with a
Yeah,
headshot next to it. I was like, wow, you up?
yeah, you got
Be
right.
quicker.
Well done.
Oh, and by the way, for anybody watching, I have a mustache right now for November, so this isn't normally what I look like, but it is for this
Can
month. It can be. And going to that, like you said, Chris, the overall they fixed with the update on Friday most of the playlists, and that was awesome. We saw pretty much like every map was getting new game types. Like you were seeing capture the flag on a lot of maps and stuff like that. Instead of just seeing it on like it was only on like one or two maps. Stronghold was on a lot more maps. I only played Stronghold on Rig a couple times as opposed to like every other game was Stronghold on Rig before that. So that was really nice. That was a good update for them. And I wanted to talk about this. I wrote a note down for myself because I don't know if you guys saw this. Tom is probably all over this stuff, but Chris, maybe not so much. Chris, I'm just going to mess with you. Orion was disabled. And I think, Chris, you liked that map, right? Or did you hate that map? I
Oh,
forget.
that map I hated, and I could go on a bit of a lengthy rant on that one.
Well, it's funny because I guess before you say that, let me cut you off real fast. That map
Sure.
is really polarizing. I don't really know why, but like I guess a lot of people find it fun, but a lot of like I think it might be like pro players think that map is like really bad for some reason.
I'm not gonna curse, but I can't stand that map. I'm so happy it's gone, especially on free for all because in free like I don't know if it was like really why it got banned, but I'm assuming spawns has something to do with it because that map just had the worst spawns out of
heard
like
that as
any
well.
map, and especially in free for all. Like it was just that's like the one map where I would just spawn and die instantly, just because like that rocky area, like kind of like underneath where the sniper
That area
spawns
sucks.
at.
Yeah,
It was awful.
it's
was
great.
just
It has two towers and then the rocks in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
and
The thing
if you spawn there, it's a wrap. You're dead like instantly.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like they're trying to combine like two different play styles with it by having, and it may be weird to say like old Halo where there's a lot more environmental compared to at least this one where there's a lot of tight spaces like industrial or indoor
Yeah.
type fields. Then it's two towers like structure and then just random rocks, which by the way, a lot of the spots, especially by the sniper too, aren't exactly easy to climb compared to the rest of the maps where you can pretty much hop
Right.
and every surface where you can climb it works. And just in general, like the other maps, like even midship, like every map has a symmetry or like points where you play around, and just playing or Orion when I did, it just never felt like it had a nice flow compared to like every other map felt great, and this map never felt like it had a flow to it because it just seemed like they just kind of threw everything together, and
I-
none of it was sticking.
I agree. Like it's like you have like the DMR like side, and then you had like the railgun side, and then like like you could always get good battles like that way, and then there was just like this side where all the rocks were that just like really didn't like fit. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
I feel like if they wanted that area, they should have extended it. It's kind of like they tried to make like a mini Zanzibar map with that outside part, but it's shoved into the map. And it's like
Right.
if you want an outside part like that, it needs to be like in its own section with like a wall over it or something. Because
Right.
then it totally like going over there, it's just death, and then everyone just stays on DMR side or the railgun side. You're right, and it's. But unfortunately, that's not why the map was pulled. The map was pulled because it might have had something to do with the spawns, but the main reason is there's a glitch where you can get outside the map. So people were taking like the railgun, DMR, and sniper. Like a team would get all those items or two of the three, and then they would get outside the map, and you could go really far away, and then you could just snipe, get a couple of kills, and hide behind a rock way outside the map. So, and that's funny because me and Tom used to do that in Halo too.
Yeah.
We would get a couple of kills in Zanzibar. We would super bounce out of the map, and then just put our controllers down and go eat, and then we'd win.
Surprised
what-
you guys didn't find this out first.
No, that's like
What was-
kind of like a kid thing to do, though. You know?
oh, so I mean, we were like you said, we were like 14 back then,
Yeah.
or young,
So
even younger.
childish.
But what was like the myth on Zanzibar? Like, remember, like people said if you got like the big spiral ring. Remember, if you got on top of that, everyone said there's like a the
I do remember, but I forget what it was. It was like when you got on top of the ring. Some yeah, I don't know if it was like a weapon or something. I don't know.
it was like the scare. What was that? What was the
Scarab
big
gun,
like?
maybe it might have been
Yeah, the
something like
scarab
that.
gun. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it was there though.
Oh, I mean, yeah,
But
definitely not.
so that's interesting. I mean, obviously they're going to be putting that map back in, but I think that they're getting a lot of complaints about free for all spawns, so they're going to be trying to fix that. But it's just interesting because that map was like is really polarizing. So I don't know, just an interesting thing. And
I'm glad it's out.
yeah, for now it's it's nice, but I don't know. It just feels like there aren't really that many big maps, and I feel like that would have been a good opportunity to make that map a little bit longer or bigger in that case. But they can't change it now, so
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? So I guess this is a good segue, but I actually don't have all the information with me right here. But we could just talk about it real fast. Is that I saw on HaloWaypoint.com that they released a bunch of maps that are coming into the game soon, and it was like 4 or 5 maps. These are like the newest ones that are coming in, are the first ones to come in, and they're adding like a headlong. They're adding like a remake of Headlong, a remake of a bunch of maps. I guess I'll just post that in the description of this video, because basically, if I tell you, you're probably not going to remember the maps. Because I was looking through a couple of them and I remember them, but nothing stood out to me other than like Headlong. All the other maps, it's not like they're remaking Lockout or anything like that. But most of the maps are ones that we've played before, for sure.
So what it is it's because they're adding Big Team Battle
Yeah.
in November. So these are all like the Big Team Battle maps.
Okay.
And they actually like during the I read an article somewhere during the production of the game they had like all the top forgers from like Halo 4 and Halo Reach come in and actually like remake these maps for them.
That's cool. That's cool that
So-
they did that.
Yeah. So like they like the forgers got up to a certain point and then obviously turned it over to 343 and they did all of the like the programming and all that kind of stuff to them, I guess, and
Fine tuning.
and yeah, the fine tuning to actually put it into the game.
That's cool
And
because
then,
I think it said a thing. It said like forged by, and then it said like inspired by Headlong,
Yeah.
and it looked pretty much the same.
Yep, I'm scrolling through the article right now.
Cool, that's good.
So,
I would scroll through it, but if I do, it'll mess up the Skype call, so I don't want to.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of them are from. I mean, besides Headlong, which is obviously from Halo 2, it seems like the other ones are from like Reach and Halo 4, like the 3 other maps.
Okay, that's nice. I think they will add some like map variety, I guess, into the like whole matchmaking because a lot of the maps are pretty small. I mean, I like them like this size. It keeps the
Love them
action
like this.
going. Yeah, me too. I mean, I love small maps, but I guess it's kind of like it's funny because when you play a really big map, you don't feel like playing. You're like, oh man, why is this map on right now? Why are we doing this? But now it's like it kind of it's a nice change of pace. Even though I prefer the small maps, it is nice. Like now that we're getting to know the maps, and this is also another segue into how we've been playing after 2 weeks. I don't know if you guys want to move on to this. Is that now that we know the maps, like I can get around rig in like 3 seconds. I can get from like one point to the other. Like I do like a slide, jump, boost, and like I'm at one point, and then like I do a climb, boost, and I'm like at nest, and now I can get around the map extremely fast. Even on that map, I wish I knew the name of it, but I don't. But you could pretty much traverse like any map now very quickly. And
Coliseum was another one I realized like where you can pretty much like anywhere in the middle and going underneath. You can pretty much hop from like platform, like it's from bridge to platform to bridge.
is that the one with
really
rockets on the right side and snipers on the
Yeah.
left, and it's got the like hole in the middle?
Yeah, the shotgun, the scatter shots in the middle.
Yeah,
And
okay.
now they figure out where you can climb on the left side, that high mid platform. You can pretty much get anywhere around the map while avoiding, pretty much avoiding like all the snipe lanes.
Yeah, pretty
So
much.
if you're quick enough.
Just for anybody who's not familiar with that map or hasn't played Halo 5, pretty much this map, when we first played it, Tom was trying to tell us like, hey, you got to do a jump the flag to get the flag over this area. There's a big open hole in the middle of the map, kind of, and we didn't know how to get around that. But now that we've been playing for a while, me and Chris are just like maneuvering across the map, and now I feel like I can reach almost any platform, and I could like traverse the map very quickly. But before it seemed like we had to go around it, and now it's like we know what platforms to hit to like go over it, right?
Yeah, plus there's a lot of sneaking you can do. Instead of just trying to like fight or BR your way through or like down a lane, you can just go the mid level where you can just hop over. You don't have you don't have the dash really, just a regular jump, and then you can go underneath and kind of sneak up. And there's a lot of counterplay with that. So it's definitely that map's warmed up to me a lot because I originally didn't like it.
Dude, same here. I hated that map at first, and now it's like one of my favorite maps to play because I understand like the pathways underneath the map make it a
Yeah.
lot more fun to play. So that's good.
That's actually one of the maps like off the bat that I actually only did like just because it kept that like that traditional just like mirrored
Symmetrical
sides. Yeah,
feel. Yeah.
yeah. I'm always a fan of compared to just the random maps.
Yeah, yeah, it's pros and cons. I definitely do like Halo's like symmetrical maps. It's classic Halo style.
Yeah,
Those symmetrical
exactly.
maps. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think my two favorite were the rig, uh, and Coliseum and Eden, just because that was the one from the beta, or that I remember from the beta.
Yeah, Eden's the one with the pit in the middle, right?
Eden's
with
one that has
overshield?
like the outside where like the rockets spawn.
Oh,
Around the circuit platform and the
okay.
catwalks.
That's a really good map. Yeah.
Empire's the one with the pit.
Okay, Empire. I like
Yeah.
Empire a lot. That's
Yeah, they're like kind of
map with good
similar.
symmetry.
Yeah.
That's a good map. So, what do you guys think? I mean, we're 2 weeks into the game being played. We have a lot of hours. You and Chris are both over a day played. I think you're both approaching like 2 days played, or maybe like a day and a half. I'm at like 14 to 18 hours played already. So that, I mean, we've definitely got a ton of time in the game. You guys have any thoughts? Anything changed from last week? What we were talking about?
Uh, I'm liking it more and more. Now, especially now that I get the feel down. Kind of piggybacking off things we talked about last week. The weapons, each one, especially getting the feel for it. There's so much play and counterplay you can do with every weapon on the map. I feel like, like every weapon's viable. I'm slowly starting to think the carbine's OP. Maybe it
Yeah,
always has been.
it is strong. As
But I
fuck.
feel like if someone gets a carbine, like especially I'm thinking of Rig in that back corner where basement usually is in like stronghold where those stairs are. I feel like as soon as like someone good with the carbines there, then they can pretty much control half the map. Um, and that's the one weapon I feel like I can never get by, but especially in the hands of a good player. But I think everything's just again like the polish, the movement, especially getting used to the dash now and finding ways to kind of juke people too on trying to find ways to use that, the tools you're given to outthink, like like you would in any good multiplayer game. I'm loving it more and more, and at least just from this point, I can see myself playing it for a while. It's definitely everything still feels it feels so fresh to play it this way, especially with like the dash and the shield that Halo has.
Yeah, and there hasn't been like any issues in the game for us playing. A couple times we'll drop from party, but it's hard to tell if that's someone's internet or like Xbox Live. It's really hard to tell. I don't think it's like a Halo thing. I think it's like an
Yeah.
Xbox thing.
There are very few bugs I can think of in general too. Just playing. Yeah, no, I'm blanking on any like technical issues like that.
What do you think of like? We were talking about a lot of the weapons. I do like the amount of weapons in the game, but like the more I play, sometimes I feel like sometimes like weapons right now, like the plasma caster, I still like it. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like at first I thought it was really strong, and now I just think like it's not as strong as it was. Same thing with the Hydra. The Hydra is really strong when you zoom in, but some people, again, I'm going to go to Reddit here, but a lot of people are talking on Reddit that like that gun for being like a power weapon should be a little bit stronger or have like I don't know, it needs like some kind of buff. I don't know if that's true or not. I just think that people don't really know how to use it yet.
So
I can. Go ahead, Tom.
I was gonna say I played a game like 10 minutes ago before we started filming this, and I had the it was on what map was it on? Jesus, Plaza,
Okay.
Plaza,
and
yeah, has one.
I had I picked the Hydra up, and I didn't get one kill with it. It's just one of those things where if like at least I feel if like the person's just like not blatantly like right in front of you with that thing, like I was like
Or
trying to
really
shoot
far
the-
away, like really far away, we can lock in.
right?
basically.
But if there's any kind of like environment around to where one of like the
Yeah.
in like the line of sight, like
Exactly,
it's just like it's useless at that point.
And there's so much stuff in this game that's going to block a shot.
Right.
know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you put that on like lockout for say, like I think it would be a lot more OP than some like the maps that are in this game, just because there's so much environment around that those things just hit and it just
Yeah.
I didn't get one kill with it.
And,
like,
and before you go, Chris, a lot of people are saying that weapon should just be on different maps. Like, why is it on Plaza? It should be on Eden or something like that, right? Like, it should be
Yeah.
on other maps. But go ahead.
Yeah, I had a general criticism of it, or my one main criticism of it was that the benefit of locking on isn't exactly that much of a benefit because, and I guess it popped in my mind what you just said about it being on a different map, and it makes sense because Plaza has so many tight corners that there's no point to lock in when they can when pretty much anywhere on the map you can dash and get behind a car or a wall,
Yeah.
and it just hit an explosion with the wall, and there goes half your clip of your power weapon. I almost think just a plasma cast would be great on that, especially like small places like the garden or even where the sniper is. If you get a charge shot and get the splash damage that it gives out, that'd be a really good alternative for that. But and it's weird because I've used the Hydra like using when we've played Breakout, and that map, especially on some of the open type maps, in that can literally change the game. Like I've gotten a triple kills off of that because of the open space, and I feel like another weapon would be better suited for Plaza, especially the way it plays.
Yeah, remind me to talk about Breakout after this later.
All right. Yeah, but it's definitely that could be a nice balance change to put even plasma cast or even the railgun. I feel like I feel there are only like two maps that actually have the railgun, like Rig and Fathom,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I feel like it can get more use.
What do you call it? The one that got banned had it too.
Well, that's the
Oh,
thing
that's
too.
right.
Like the railgun. At first, I'm like, I hate this gun. Everybody hated that gun first time, and then you're like, okay, I charge it. Now I get a lot of kills. But now that people are dashing more, it's really hard to get a kill with the railgun, and it shows you a blue light. Like when you're sniping, you see the white light like Battlefield. When you're using the railgun, you see a blue light, and I'm pretty sure like the blue light gets more potent as it's like more charged up. So like
It does light up, yeah.
you just see the blue light, you see the guy aiming at you, you dash and he misses, and like that gun got a lot harder to use now because people are getting better at the game.
It's definitely a weapon that's better if the person like doesn't see you. I mean, obviously, I mean, any weapon's better if the person doesn't see you, but it's
I know what you
definitely. I
mean.
mean,
Yeah.
well, like it's.
I
I
mean,
feel like
to me
trying to
the
1v1
It's like a
someone,
sniper. It's like a sniper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was about to say, to me, it's like a lot of times where I've turned a corner and like seen the sniper, like the glare of the sniper or the blue charging light of that, and it's a quick dash and they've wasted their shot. So it's almost the same counterplay from a one hit kill essentially.
Yeah, it's
Because
just
of
hard
the
because of the
dash.
charge time, and a lot of weapons have that charge time. The plasma caster, I mean, they still have their place. It's just hard. I think they'll even have their place is probably even more in Warzone, and it'll be even better in big team battle when you have like the railgun and the plasma caster and stuff like that. It's just some of the smaller maps. It's definitely harder to use that. I found myself kind of skipping over the railgun and just BRing people, which like I hate.
Yeah.
I hate that happens, but it's okay. I mean, that's
Yeah, especially people baited into it, and I would love to see the plasma caster counterplay with vehicles too. Considering if you do get a charge shot, it does slightly home in, and you can stick someone. And if someone say has a warhog or a ghost, that can be a really great asset if you can get that and then hold down vehicles that way.
yeah. So what was I gonna say? I mean,
Breakout?
well, no, that's it for those weapons, I guess specifically. Real quick, I made a video. I'm gonna plug Blitz Five and Friends YouTube page about the medals in the game, because a lot of people are talking about they can't see the medals and they don't give you a medal list at the end of each match. And we were talking about how we don't know what some of the medals were. So if you go, I say this every time, I say this in the video, but Halo Waypoint is really great for all this stuff. And if you go to your service record, you can see all of your medals. And I thought of this because you can also see the like your skill level on different guns and different game types. So let me just break this down one by one. So first, what I was talking about is the medals. You can see all the medals that are in the game, which ones you have. So Big Game Hunter, I thought this was interesting, is you kill 3 people with a power weapon without dying. So the other people have the power weapon, not you.
Oh, so that's how you kept Ghana in shoddy snipes because everyone had a sniper.
Everyone had a sniper, yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Then Top Gun, that one, I don't know if you've seen that. I've been getting that a lot. It looks like
Yeah.
it's got the star. That's the first player to 10 kills gets that. And then
Oh,
another
okay.
weird one that I've never seen before is like that radiation sign. And that's like kill 10 players that had a power weapon, I think. Like
Yeah,
throughout the whole game.
I've always gotten that more towards the end of shoddy sniper
Yeah.
matches.
Yeah, so that radiation one, those 3 were like the biggest ones I hadn't seen. And there actually is, I was joking around about getting a triple double. There's a really cool medal that's like it's almost like the MLG logo, but with the Halo helmet, with like the Spartan helmet, and it's getting a triple double, like double
yeah,
digits kills.
it's
assists.
kills, assists, and headshots, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I have 7 of those right now, so I'm pretty happy about that. And then one last thing, what was I going to say about medals? There's some crazy medals. There's a medal that if you hit a weapon with a plasma grenade, if I say like we're on Coliseum and I throw a plasma grenade to the rockets and it shoots the rockets towards you and you pick them up, Tom, that's a medal. It's called an alley-oop.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I didn't know grenades affected weapons in this game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
they
there's
do.
one that if you pick up a weapon from using a grenade, it's called Halo CE. Because remember we used to do that in Halo CE. I think.
Yeah, I mean, every Halo you could really do it, or use the most infamous one is blowing on sniper on lockout was blowing the little barrels right behind the
Yeah, and
sniper.
the sniper would come down. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, down to BR tower. That's like the most infamous one. I
Yeah.
did honestly, as much as I play this game, I didn't even notice that you could do that.
Me neither, because they're on the little platforms, the weapons, and they spin around like on real
Yeah.
status. So I don't know. Maybe it's just a plasma grenade that does it. I'm not really sure. We'll have to look into that because it's kind of weird.
But even in was it in Warzone I noticed too, and I'm sure like it'll become more apparent when Big Team Battle comes out. But like a lot of vehicle based ones, like shooting people off of, say, someone trying to board a Scorpion or a Wraith. There's a bunch of medals regarding that, or even going back to just the regular maps, like all the I'm always fond of the nade shot and the nuke combo ones. Whenever you just BR someone
yeah.
or get the nade off the shield and the headshot.
I wish there was
it's,
a. Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead. I was just
I
kind
was
of.
gonna say something where you said when we're playing is how fluid it is too. Again, going with the polish of the game. Like there's no lag in terms of anything. Like the announcer just says it right away and just always pops up correctly, which is cool. That
I guess I mean people are already complaining about like it saying it prioritizing the wrong medals, but like come on, people complain about everything.
Oh my god.
it's just semantics. Someone's always gonna find something like that.
I know it's crazy, dude. Reddit. And on top of this, in the same area, so if you go to Halo Waypoint service record, you see all your medals. You can see your proficiency of guns. And I did this in Call of Duty back when they were really pushing like Call of Duty Elite, and going online. And it's pretty cool. I don't know if it really changed anything that I'm doing, but like you could see what guns you're really good at, like your accuracies and stuff like that. And I definitely found that like I had a ton of kills and my accuracy was super high with the carbine. Like its damage dealt or whatever. Like you could tell when I pick up that weapon, I'm getting kills. And it was pretty interesting. And then it showed like when I had the fuel rod cannon, I sucked. Like don't use that weapon. It was pretty interesting because I suck with the fuel rod cannon.
Yeah, I suck with that gun too. It's kind of like the same thing as the same problem I have like with the Hydra and like the plasma caster. It's just like I just don't understand how to use the gun, so I just don't use it.
And you don't see them a lot, you know.
Yeah,
So
it's
hard
just
to get
it's just like whenever someone else has it, they seem to like just kill me in one shot, and then like when I do it, I shoot like 30 at someone and they don't die. Like it
Yeah.
just
I mean, the plasma
I feel
caster, if you use the plasma caster, Chris got it down, and he convinced me to use it, and I got it down, and now that gun I've, like, perfected, but the railgun, not so much.
I feel like with the fuel rod cannon, if I have it and I don't have like a height or elevation advantage, I might as well just use a pistol. Especially on like some of the maps that have it, like the
Truth?
regret.
oh yeah.
Is that fake midship?
The
Well,
crash midship thing.
I keep calling that fake
Yeah.
midship.
Yeah, like a lot of times, if there's anyone in front of you, like you have to either incredibly accurate your shot or hope they're messing up and not jumping at you and you're shooting at their feet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, though, I've gotten like 2-hit kills, kind of controlling ramps with that too. So it's really good at that especially if you play around it with like if you have a teammate helping you and not just
Yeah.
trying to spam shots at someone.
That's a good point. Exactly. So I think that covers everything on the service record. It was the medals and the weapons, and you can see how well you're doing in different playlists, but that doesn't really matter. So Chris, I wanted to talk about Breakout. You brought that up for a second.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that whole like shield being different than everything else in the game?
It's confusing. it can feel like there's so many times where I've headshotted someone and then like I just like instinctively like reload thinking it's like SWAT, you know what I mean, and then I just get reversed on.
Well, explain how the shield works. At least how we know it. To
Well,
work now.
I believe it's what is it? It's three headshots or 2 headshots with the BR, 3 with the pistol, I think, but it's weird because you have no shield, but it's not like one shot, one kill.
It's like your health's increased at the same time.
But basically,
yeah.
it's in between SWAT and the regular game. It's more
Oh,
like
yeah.
SWAT, but it's not like the regular game.
Right.
And it's confusing because they're basically putting in 3 different levels of shield in the game.
Right.
But at the same
Yeah,
time,
it's-
I get why they did it though, because like it can't be like SWAT because people would just shoot and die immediately, and you just be like, this is pointless.
Oh yeah.
Glad it's
And
not
then-
SWAT.
And then if it was the regular game type, people wouldn't play strategically at all, really, right? You would
Right.
just like keep running around.
I mean, I'm not saying that like I don't like it. It's just I'm just an idiot and get confused all the time.
I know, but would you like it better if it was just regular shields? You think they messed up and just should have kept it regular shields?
No,
No,
I honestly think it's fine how it is. It's just the fact of getting used to it. Plus, I just don't. I'm not the biggest fan of the game type, so like I don't play it that much. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I really don't have much input, but I'm just saying like when I do play it, the shields definitely confuse me. But that's due to me not playing it a lot. Is you know.
What were you gonna say, Chris?
I found myself frustrated with the shield in terms of deaths, but then like thinking about it more, I do like the level of it because it rewards good play with the weapons and the whole tactical portion. And the one big thing is that the grenades too. Like you can full on kill someone with a standing grenade with just by tossing it, not just.
It's good and
taking out
bad.
shield.
That's good and bad. It's really
Yeah,
nice and
it's part of the mode. And I actually do like the mode still, but it's the one part of the game I wouldn't want to play without like you guys or like a full team because just only because of more of the tactical mastery you need in terms of just playing it and calling out where people are where it's very vital. But I do like the level because it just does reward like if you're great with grenades or anything like that, then you can use that to your advantage. Obviously, it's weird too. It's well, I guess going over what Tom says. The criticism is like when you know like your entire life of playing Halo that there's like this amount of shots gets a kill, and then it's off. It can kind of throw off rhythm too. So it's a separate type, but I appreciate the fact that they tried to put something else in it in
I
the
agree.
game that's different.
I think maybe it should be in its own playlist.
Oh, it is.
No, it's in Arena though. It comes up in Arena playlist.
That is true. Yeah, it does come up in Team
It
Arena.
shouldn't be in Arena
I'm sorry.
In that sense, yeah, they should.
because like every time it comes up, we're like, "Fuck, we haven't played this in like a week," and then we lose the first 3 matches, and then sometimes we come back and win because now we're like, "Okay, now we're used to it," you know.
Yeah.
Figure it out again.
Yeah, that happened to me. I was playing with Mark, and we were like, dude, fuck this game type. And we lost the first 3, but then I was like, all right, let me get the BR, Mark. You go left, I'll go right. And then, like, we came back and beat the team. And I was like, okay, now we get it.
It was actually the that tournament I told you guys that happened last weekend. Like it happened like the weekend that Halo came out.
Yeah.
Obviously there was no competitive game types or anything made, so they just kind of used like the arena playlist. So breakout ended up like coming into the game sets.
Oh, wow, okay.
And like the one team just like they just killed each other. Like they just kept like
They just wanted to, like, push. They just wanted to get the
Yeah.
game over with.
yeah,
Wow.
they just wanted to get the game over to get to a different one. It was just pretty funny.
Not surprised.
I could see some people doing that are really into Halo and, like, refuse to play that game type, probably.
It's pretty much sacrilege.
It's like Tom. It's like Tom hates that game type.
Such a purist.
Yeah, I don't like change.
Yeah, man.
Nah, it's cool. Like I like the whole like the entry, like how you go on
Yeah.
the fucking the jumps. You know what I mean? And like the maps look cool. How they're kind of like that. Like
I love the maps.
Virtual
I think they're
reality
really sweet.
type.
yeah, like it's definitely cool without a doubt. It's not my cup of tea, if you will.
I wouldn't mind if those kind of maps like were a little bit bigger and in the regular game type because it makes you seem like you're in this like it's almost like League of Legends where you enter the rift. You're like entering
Right.
this like arena based
Arena, yeah.
system. It's pretty sweet. But then again, that would be annoying if they all looked like that. It would be like not cool.
Yeah.
I think it's good how it is. How it's in like its own. It's
Yeah.
like its own little. It's like a mini game almost. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, not a lot of games have mini games nowadays, but like it's like a Halo mini game kind of.
Yeah, and I mean, and they did a good job like bringing something new into the game. That and Warzone really made the game like
Definitely.
refreshed the game a lot. You know.
But
Yeah.
one complaint, minor complaint, thinking about Breakout now is I'm not sure if it's happened to you guys, and it's like the only technical complaint I can think of is, but like I love the ramp, the intro to every round, but I feel like as the longer the game goes on, the later rounds, it's delayed very much so, and I almost feel like I've like landed on the map later than some people, and it's something I would have to test out more by playing it.
Oh,
But
really?
I feel like sometimes
Okay.
it's like a lag by a second or two. Could be connection, of course, but I almost feel like sometimes it like I feel physically behind everyone else as you're ramping in. Maybe that's design. I'm just not noticing it. But it's something I kind of want to look into again.
Yeah, that's interesting. Sometimes I feel like I'm definitely ahead of the pack, but it might be where which one you're launching from will
is
push
true.
you farther ahead because it does switch which one you launch from, which I was like making fun of, but maybe that's why.
maybe it has something to do with like your kills, like kind of like pole positions and like race car matches. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that'd be
you know
interesting. Yeah,
you know what I'm
Launches you
saying?
closer to the BR.
I'm gonna write that down. We got. Yeah, I wonder if like that is pretty interesting because I was doing really bad, and then I started getting kills, and then it kept pushing me all the way to the left to break out, and that was where the BR was. And I don't know. I wonder if that's how it works. Let's see how they determine spawn. Okay, I should look that up later.
Something for week 3.
Something for week 3 of the podcast. Um, so now that we're kind of talking about like breakout and the other game types, something that like I'm kind of worried about, especially doing the podcast and stuff. Just to be honest, is like, I mean, it seems like everyone's playing this game is really enjoying it, but like, how is the community? It's hard to tell. How many people are playing this game? How long are people going to play it for? I think the free DLC will keep people interested, but it just worries me that Halo was already worried, 343 Studios, about people playing the game, that they were only going to put in like so many playlists because they wouldn't even put in Big Team Battle because they were worried about splitting up the community so early on. Because like Halo 4 and a lot of these games died out really fast. Like Tom said, I think before, maybe just a personal conversation, that the other Halos haven't been doing that well, that it's like not an MLG anymore. There's like barely any professional stuff. So sometimes it worries me that the game's really good, but like when you're spending this much time in a game, is it going to last that long? I don't know.
I think
I,
you can go, Chris. You can go first.
I feel like a lot of I think that's a concern nowadays with a lot of and COD maybe the closest to immunity from that because of I guess how big the player base is for it now.
Yeah, it's huge.
Um, I had a brain fart for a second, but I feel like that's a concern for every developer now that does an FPS, especially since
Yeah.
I mean Halo's kind of different, but like a lot of games now follow the same like aim down sight general core idea. So it's about like I guess what do they keep fresh and what do they try to innovate on. And I feel like a lot of like with Halo 4 and Reach, they didn't feel like fun games. Like I like that they. I know you had a good concern of it when we first started playing Array when with loadouts and the way like how you can build your character with the different like shields and dash things like that. Whatever that move was where you pretty much go you're invulnerable for like 3 seconds while you're just crouched. I forget what that's called. If you guys
Yeah, dude,
remember
they
that.
made you could go invisible. That shit
Yeah,
was ridiculous.
it didn't feel balanced. It felt off, and I think that's where I think this goes back to it's a bit different from the classic Halo games where you have a dash and there's more movement involved, but everything feels right in terms of polish and I know I throw polish out a lot, but everything just feels balanced. It's not just like you run it not like I have a vivid memory of like just being in a map of Halo, I guess it was Reach, where like there's like 10 people just doing that like in that like crouched invulnerable move, like just back and forth, and you realize like no one's actually killed each other after like 20 seconds, and it wasn't that fun. And but to this, it feels much better, and it feels competitive too. That's another thing.
Yeah, I think putting the key part to Halo is putting the weapons back in power positions because it keeps people moving. If you don't move, you're not going to get the sniper or the rocket, and you're beat. And that's what they needed to put it around. They went back to that, starting with the AR pistol. That's like huge. You know what I mean? Do you have any
Yeah.
opinion on that, Tom?
Yeah. So I kind of got. I mean, I don't want to say this. I had a whole bunch of stuff to say now. I don't know how to word it. Pretty much. Like going back to the community. I think like the way they're doing a lot of things, like with the monthly like rec packs, or not the monthly rec packs, but like releasing different armors and stuff monthly. Like that's keeping people.
Oh, that's really cool. Talk about that. That's with the new maps. Talk about that real fast. But they're also, I mean,
Yeah, so every month they're gonna release like for instance, I'm not sure if it's every month, but I know this coming month they're releasing like 2 new armor sets. They're releasing some new skins for the various weapons, and then they're adding different kind of like Warzone cards for vehicles and all the weapons and stuff like that. So I definitely think like having that aspect is gonna keep a lot of people interested, because you kind of have like that gotta catch 'em all kind of mentality
yeah.
to try to unlock everything. The free DLC obviously is like you mentioned before is a biggie. But kind of going back to like the community as you said, and kind of talking about the older Halos. So and esports, which is obviously a biggie because that's pretty much what this game is designed around. So going all the way back to like Halo 2, Halo 3, I mean, as much as I want to say Halo 2 is the biggest Halo, I mean, if you look at prize money and size of the events, Halo 3 was way bigger than Halo 2. But obviously, that would have never been able to happen if it wasn't for
Yeah,
what
it's
Halo.
basically just piggybacking off Halo
Right.
2's success. Yeah.
So, and speaking about Call of Duty, like, if Reach never came out, I don't think Call of Duty would be what it was, like what it is. Call of Duty esports would be what it is now, just because, like, for instance, I know of three Halo 3 pros that are now Call of Duty pros. So like it's just like those Halos sucked so bad that everyone left, and then Call of Duty was kind of like, well, we're the only FPS now, so you know what I mean.
And that's when
And
and that's when Call of Duty was really good
right,
too.
and then so you know they released a good Call of Duty. There was no other competition as far as like other FPSs, and like the state that esports was in then because of Halo. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like Call of Duty just kind of piggybacked off everything that Halo either did or did wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I really don't know where I was trying to get with that, but
No,
Because
that's what I mean.
I think the feel of the I'm not sure the market, but just like the temperature of where all the other games were. Like I'm trying to think of other shooters. Like there was Battlefield 3 and 4 over the past few years, but those aren't exactly um, competitive types in the same sense as Halo and COD. And COD also did itself a service of also putting out really good games, really
oh,
fun
definitely.
games that were great to play and were difficult to play against high level people, especially playing like I remember playing when we played like Black Ops 2 in its league. Very rewarding to high end play. But now I feel like people share the same concern. At least I in my own sense, like when Advanced Warfare came out, I hated the way how much
It
the
got
dashing.
gimmicky. Yeah, it
Yeah,
got
it
gimmicky.
got really gimmicky, and what you're kind of telling me, I really want to try the new Black Ops as well, just because the other two were great, and but it seems like some of the features if they kept it gimmicky, I think that you can still add too much to a game too, especially if a shooter. And this Halo does a good job of keeping things simple, so I can kind of see it swaying back towards Halo, especially if they do stay active in the community in terms of upgrading, not upgrading, but updating monthly, like you said. And I think that's a huge thing too when developers are that headstrong in terms of keeping things fresh and seeing and listening to the community too about what needs to be added. And I see that a lot more. And like since we play a lot of League, Riot's very good at trying to get the temperature of what the community wants and try to adjust to that and be quick on their updates too. And I feel like if 343 can do that, then they'll keep people around for a while.
I was just gonna say that I was gonna compare like 343 to like kind of Riot on how they're so kind of going back to what I said earlier, like so like like Halo Reach and Halo what was I think they had like the CE anniversary, which wasn't like really like a big release. They just like remade Halo 1. So and then like Halo 4 came out, and I feel like Halo 4 was just like that was the first, that was right when 343 got the contract for Halo, and then B, like they were just so desperate that like that's why like they did the loadouts and things, so they saw how successful Call of Duty was, so they're like, well, let's just make it like Call of Duty, and
Totally.
that
That's
just
probably what
ultimately
happened.
like backfired on them. But to kind of piggyback off what Chris was just saying, I feel like 343 definitely hiring old Halo pros was a very good thing to kind of bring back what made Halo Halo and keeping things simple, like to quote Chris. And I've been saying that for years that's what Halo needed to do. It needed to go back to its Halo 2, Halo 3 roots, to where it was just simple. There just there wasn't all these freaking power weapons and power grenades, and you know what I mean. And I mean, I'm thankfully they finally did do that, and they're definitely listening to the community a lot. Like I'm not sure if this playlist update was like something I already had lined up, or they just heard everyone talking the first week about like the map rotation, things like that. I mean, if they took that feedback and made those changes in a week, like that's awesome.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's
mean?
what they did.
But
That's what they did.
so that's a big thing that I think will keep the community happy. And again, going back to esports, HCS Halo Championship Series is kind of doing the prize pool for the tournaments, kind of like how Dota does. So they put up like $1 million of like their own money, I guess you could say, for layman's terms. Like that was the prize pool they announced before Halo 5 even came out. and then within the first week, now it's 1.5 million because all of the rec pack sales, when people buy rec packs with real money, that's just going straight to the prize pool.
Like a portion of it, yeah.
Yeah, so they call it there's a word for it.
And that's like what Dota does.
Yeah,
Which
it's like
I've always seen to a lot of acclaim too, and the Dota community.
A lot of people like that. Yeah.
Community funding. That's the word I'm looking for. That's what they. So they say like HCS is community funded now, which is cool. I think because that just adds more money. More money means more players, which means more media, which means more. You know what I mean? So
totally.
I think so. For the first 2 weeks, they've surpassed what I thought. I mean, as much as a Halo fan as I am, I was just expecting another HCC or Halo 4 launch to where, you know what I mean, it just shit the bed and everyone played for like the first 2 weeks and then Black Ops 3 came out and then you wouldn't be able to find a game, but it's the exact opposite, which I'm really happy about, and I hope they keep up what they're doing.
Yeah, just for fun, this might be like bad, but if you can check how many people are live streaming Halo right now. Go to Twitch, and if you go to the Twitch main page, I would do it, but I can't. And see,
I'll do it right now.
I'm sure Call of Duty's beating Halo, but maybe not. Because I think I checked the other day and they were. But there's so many points to go on, and I don't want to like harp on it too much. But I think keeping the game simple, like you said, like I mean, Counter-Strike is a great example of that. Counter-Strike has been successful for so long, and it's like, you know, there's not these crazy like stupid overshield, like throw down a vault thing and step in this and heal grenade, you know, and it's because it's like it comes down to your skill, and that's what Halo needed, is less like go invisible. They needed to like get rid of that stuff, and the getting the new equipment thing is huge for me because, well, first of all, I think it says a lot that I'm not playing Call of Duty right now. I'm playing Halo. That's pretty big because I'm like Call of Duty's biggest fan. But that game went like Halo style. It went like 343. They just added like so much stuff. It's not Call of Duty anymore. And this one definitely went back a little bit to Call of Duty, but it's just like more about some random stuff that's happening in the game. Like they try to make the maps like chaos, so like you can't really have an advantage. There's not really holding down this like one area. Everything has like a million entry points. So it's like just chaos.
How does the running on walls thing like feel? Like
I didn't run on any walls. I played one game and I didn't run on any walls. But basically, that game, you think Halo is bad with like there's a lot of buttons in Halo now, and if you have a scuff, that game is like built for people who have scuff controllers. Basically, it just is. Like it's there's a lot of buttons in that game too now, and now there's like 9 classes, and you pick a class, and that class will have like a special weapon. That nobody else, no other class has, and it might have like a special thing like extra radar ability. So you could be like a rogue kind of class, a sniper kind of class, like a demolition expert. It's almost like Battlefield where you could pick out different classes. But you know, I don't want to talk about that too much, but it's definitely a lot different. But I think, you know, the getting the new equipment and stuff, that was huge for me because I was like, man, okay, game's awesome. 2 weeks in, I have 14 hours play or whatever. What's going to make me keep playing this game other than you guys and me wanting to rank up? But, like, I'm not super obsessed with my rank right now. I'm like, what's going to keep me in the game? Call of Duty at least has, like, let me prestige once. And then if I get to level 34, I get this new gun. But having this new equipment stuff is, like, making me want to be like, all right, next month I want to get this skin for my gun. So I'm going to, like, get rec packs. And it definitely is keeping me interested. And I want to, like, I'm excited. I'm saving up to do a 10-pack opening. I almost have 100,000 rec points, so I'm excited to see what I get in that, and that will help me. Like, I don't know, I need that kind of stuff to keep me going in the game. I need like some kind of like new content and a goal to keep going, you know.
I think another big thing that's going to help out Halo, which I'm sure wasn't really planned, but it's definitely going to go in Halo's favor, is the fact that competitive Call of Duty has gone to PS4.
Oh, that's huge too.
So
that's a good point.
So now, like, you know, Halo is back to just being the only competitive FPS shooter on Xbox. You know, and another funny thing, which I don't know if, like, so as you guys know, Call of Duty pretty much created its own like LCS with like Activision made its own league. So they went away from MLG, and like it's like regions, and it's literally set up the same exact way LCS is, and the funny thing about it, I mean, the prize pools are announced, but like HCS or the new Call of Duty League, like neither of them have released like any information on like events or like anything. Like I don't know if like one's waiting for the other or if it's just they just haven't figured it out yet. But I just thought that was kind of funny how like, you know, these games are out for like a week now, 2 weeks, and like nothing nothing is announced besides like the money. So it's like they're just trying to like one up each other, kind of. I feel like.
Totally, that's definitely what it is. They're definitely competing with each other, and I think now that Call of Duty sees that Halo's doing that too, they're probably going to start like checking each other with like certain things like that, like when they're going to announce dates.
Without a doubt.
It's definitely becoming like a little mini war now.
But I think it being on separate consoles is definitely gonna like help out Halo a little bit more. Just so you have like the dedicated Xboxers, if they want to play competitive gaming, like Halo's their only choice. I mean, obviously all the pros, like Call of Duty pros, switched over to PS4. I mean, because they really have no choice not to.
It's their
But
bread and butter.
Yeah. Yeah, I really think it's crazy, but like this Halo 5, man, was like, I don't know if this is overstating, but to me it was like the end all be all for like Halo, man. Because like
without a doubt,
after the MCC launch,
yeah, if this shit to bed, Halo was done.
it was, man. The Halo MCC launch was awful, dude. That like really bummed all of us out. Obviously, it was just like so bad, and
I still laugh about it.
yeah, it was so bad, and like, honestly, if this game wasn't good, everyone would have just went back to Call of Duty. Me too. I just would have been like, oh, Halo, I would have played the campaign with you guys, and that's it. And now I haven't even touched the campaign. That's a whole other part I'm excited to do. But like multiplayer is so good right now. I just want to play that.
Yeah.
And
it's
it's
just-
definitely it would have stopped me from buying another Halo. Like, you know what I mean? Like
No way.
Like
Yeah, right.
no,
come on,
no,
Tom,
seriously.
come on.
because like I got Reach, right? And then Reach was awful, and then like the hype around Halo 4, like, all right, Halo's back, blah blah blah, new developer, new game, Halo 4 lot launched.
Dude, I
and,
was
like,
off Halo 4 so fast.
exactly, like it was
Yeah.
nothing. Like there's no competitive scene to it. Like it was like a very random game. Like as far as like the esports, like there was like different leagues having different events, and it was just very random.
That game was truly called Halo Call of Duty. That game was literally should just be called Halo the COD version. It was a joke.
And so there was like two letdowns. And then Halo 5, all the hype. I mean, obviously they did things a lot different and a lot better this time around. But like if this game was like another one of those letdowns, and then 2 years down the road, like Halo 6, here comes the hype again. Like I probably wouldn't have pre-ordered it or anything.
Dude, if Halo put a piece of shit in a box, I'd probably buy it. But it's just because it's a tradition.
Right.
But me and Chris were saying that, like, I think it was me and you, Chris. I don't know if it was somebody else. I have a bad memory. But that, like, it really shows that they put this game out like a year ago for the beta. I felt like I played the beta like 2 years ago. That game,
Yeah,
the
we
beta
were
was
talking
so
about that.
long.
You were telling me.
And I think that enabled them to really fine tune stuff. Like even Call of Duty, man, Call of Duty launched, and that game had server issues. The game's still like having a lot of server issues, and because they're doing like this 1 year production. At least Halo is doing like Halo 6 isn't going to come out next year, and I like that because Call of Duty gets really annoying with this. Like every year it's going to come out. It's super frustrating because you could like get really good at a game and then it just changes. So at least we know that Halo 5 is going to be around like this in its current form for over a year.
Yeah, normally it's like 2 to 3 years between Halos.
Yeah, I think they said that they're starting to work on Halo 6 right now, but yeah, it's going to be a while until.
I mean, a lot of games, especially of this magnitude, will have development for a while. I think like I always think like World of Warcraft when it came out. I forget what year, but they were developing it for like pretty much like 7-8 years beforehand to try to get down.
I mean, that's why Call of
for a
Duty's
console game like this, not surprised.
I mean, that's why Call of Duty switches developers. I mean, they're probably already done with the next Call of Duty, and they're just going to fine tune it for the next like year, like finish it up because they have 2 studios working on it. But it's just too many Call of Duties, man. They're pumping too many of those games out. So, anyways,
Saturating the market.
if you guys are happy with this, I'll keep going.
I think because does Call of Duty have like microtransactions in it?
It does. I don't know what they are in this game. I think it's like, but they definitely are still going to have
So,
microtransactions.
because I mean, obviously, like that's why console games have to pump out so many games, right? Is to keep money coming in, and that's why most computer games have microtransactions, so that they're not obligated to pump out so many games. So I think Halo. I mean, granted, it's like $3 for like those rec packs, but times that by however many. I think like having that small income coming in will definitely allow them to spend more time, in between this game and like the next Halo.
That's true too.
You know what I mean?
And I'm glad they kept the microtransactions at that because I know I joked before and Tom I got you when I was saying like I got something off the auction house.
Yes.
If they had a feature like that, I think it's the right amount of mystery in terms of just having the packs. And I know like Madden and 2K also did this with the packs too, like their Ultimate Team versions. But like having a nice balance of like cosmetics because as much as you and people might not admit, like people love cosmetics and customization,
Yeah.
even the silliest of skins and things like that. But just the right amount of microtransactions is good, just to again keep some incentive for them to make some more money off of it and keep the people interested in that, keep them coming for
Definitely.
more.
Yeah,
I,
for
I
sure.
scream I scream like a little girl every time I open up a pack and I don't get a pistol skin, which I still don't have.
I don't have any
But
skins other
by the
than
way,
the
Craig got one
pre-order.
too.
Oh
Huh?
wow.
Craig got one too.
Of course I did. Why wouldn't
Hilarious.
I?
Everyone but you at this point.
It's quite annoying. All I want is a pistol skin. Give me a pistol skin 343 if you're listening.
They have skins for like every main weapon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have one for the deep
There's like
as well.
seven for each. I have one for the BR and the assault rifle, but I don't have one for the pistol.
I only
And
have
there's
the
like
one that I got for my pre-order bonus. That's it.
you have one for the pistol?
No, the pre-order bonus I got came with SMG for Amazon.
Oh,
Just say yes to
alright.
make him mad.
Yeah.
Whatchamacallit, though, I do have some really dirty emblems though. I've like some like legendary emblems that I'm like pretty happy with. They're like really ultra rare ones or something. But anyways, I think this is good. I didn't want to talk too much today. Like I figured we should try to keep these at least like around an hour for now. And I think
Yeah.
we're almost at that now. A, because we're going to be doing it weekly, and B, because a lot of the sites that we're going to be using to store the podcast have like a limit on bandwidth unless we want to pay money. So for now, most of them only come with like 3 to 4 hours a month for free. So if we want to hit that limit, we might as well keep it to an hour. And I think this is like pretty good. We went over a lot of stuff, and it will save us some topics for next week. Tom, did you see how many people were live streaming? No.
Yeah, I really don't want to say.
Oh my gosh. It's a good market for me. How many?
So Call of Duty has
Well, first of all, you have to consider that Halo is only one platform, and Call of Duty's on computer everywhere. Is Halo 5 on PC? No, right? Or is
no.
it?
Not yet.
So Halo 5 is only one platform, so we have to divide it by like 3.
All right. Well, I mean, it's still kind of crushed.
Okay.
So Halo 5 is 2,500 people streaming
Get
right
the
now.
fuck out.
Yeah.
2,500?
And- yeah, that's it.
Oh my lord. Okay.
Well, to me, I don't think
I'm about to
that's
become a
that
pro
alarming.
streamer.
So
I
yeah,
don't think that's that alarming because COD. I mean, the last legitimate Halo was. I mean, we were just talking about was how many years away. The last one,
right.
maybe some people were playing MCC, but like, there's a COD every year. I'm sure there's a lot more established people and people have been
I'm gonna
trying
say
to play it as well.
there's so many more Call of Duty personalities, like pro personalities, and then you got like people like T Martin
Yeah.
and like Panache who are just like YouTube personalities. You know what I mean? Like there's
And if they stream, they're getting like 1 million viewers. So
right,
Okay.
exactly. So Call of Duty Black Ops has 54,000.
okay, that's not that crazy.
They're number 3. Fallout 4 right now has 140,000.
I mean,
viewers.
the release is happening right now, so that's.
It's all the
I'm
people who got it
hyped for that.
early are probably
Insane.
streaming. Everyone's like, yeah. hyped
And
up.
obviously League of Legends is number 2 with 93,000.
League is life.
Wait, what's number one?
Fallout.
It goes Fallout, League.
Oh, number
Call
one
of
was Fallout. Oh, okay.
Duty.
Eventually, we'll just transition this into a League of Legends podcast.
When
Are you
Season 6
streaming
comes
under
back-
Halo? Are you streaming under Halo 5 or under game talk shows?
Halo 5.
Ah, oh yeah.
I just figured. I didn't know
That's
there
fine.
was a gaming talk show section.
Yeah.
Okay, we could
Do a
try that
call
out
for
next
table.
time. All right, guys. Thanks for meeting up again. And this is Halo 5 Podcast, Episode 2. So we'll do Episode 3 next week. We're going to be aiming to release every Tuesday because that's when Halo came out. And keep the tradition alive. So thanks for watching. If you guys got any topics you want us to talk about or anything,